Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Brandon. In this video, I'll try to explain how to wall jump in Apex Legends. There's many tutorials on the YouTube, so I'll try to be very fast, very quick, very informational, and I'll try to give some more tips and tricks and some more ways which you can use wall jumping. So the theory behind wall jumping is you run up against the wall, and when you hit the wall, you jump. This is much easier done if you just bind your jump to a mouse wheel up or down input. It's a personal preference which one, and is also very possible with the regular space. So all you gotta do is do a slide jump. Then when you mid-air, you stop holding every single input, and then once you hit the wall, you jump. Slide jump, stop holding, jump. It's very simple, right? You slide jump, stop holding everything, and you jump. So this is the basic wall jump everybody's doing, right? But there's so much more to wall jumping than this. The one thing and the most useful thing I would like to present is wall jump into a tap strafe over the wall. Something like this, right? Sometimes you'll manage to actually get over the wall. Sometimes you'll only manage to get the top of the wall. But pretty much what you do here is you do a regular wall jump. It has to be under an angle, right? So it has to be like at a slight angle. And you do the wall jump, and then you look left, and then this is called strafing. So you move your mouse to the left and you hold A, and then you tap strafe, and then you look to the right and you hold D. It's pretty much called strafing. So strafing, again, you hold A, and then you move your mouse to the left. So this will obviously you'll be going in circles, and then the right side is D and move mouse to the right. And so again, all you gotta do a regular wall jump, then strafe to the left, tap strafe, strafe to the right. The left strafe is very short, probably like 3 times shorter than the right one. But again, wall jump, tap strafe, you got it. And then this is really useful in regular fences that you can find in Skyhook and Fragment all over the place, because it's much faster than climbing. Also, if you're climbing something very tall, it gives audio cues to the enemies. If you just listen to the sound, this is much easier to hear than a simple run up, slide jump, and then tap strafe, right? Also, a huge advantage you're having. You're also having a huge advantage if you actually have a gun, right? So if I have a P20 and I'm climbing, I can't really... I can shoot, right? You can shoot, but you can't aim. For this entire time, I'll be holding down my right click, okay? So you guys see. I'm climbing, and I can aim again. But with this, what you can do is you do this, and immediately after you hit the top, you can actually pick up your gun. So if you want to perfect this, you can actually pick up your gun mid-air. And it's slightly faster, and also less predictable by the enemies. There's also a thing that's called a strong wall jump. So what you can do is after the wall jump itself, after your actual jump from the wall, you can actually modify your airspeed and your air velocity by strafing and holding W or S. So you remember how I told you when you're wall jumping, you don't hold anything while you do it? And so it bounces you off, but let's say I wanna land on that sand block, right? And I do a regular wall jump. It doesn't even let me really. It is good, right? Like it lets you do it, but sometimes you get caught, for example, on climbing up if you stop holding anything, doing it under an angle. Sometimes the angle is way too big, right? So it doesn't even the game doesn't even know you're trying to climb the wall. That's what happened there. And this works, right? But how do you actually increase the chances of you doing this 100%? So the way you do this is you're gonna do something like a turn like this, right? So what I'm doing is I'm holding W when I'm going forward. Then I'm aiming right. I'm gonna strafe right. So I'm holding W, strafe to the right. There's gonna be the wall, so you're gonna wall jump, and then you're gonna strafe backwards to the left. And strafe backwards is pretty much the same as a strafe forward. It's just you're holding S and your mouse direction is inverted. So again, I'm gonna be holding W, strafe to the right, wall jump. Start holding S and A and doing like a half circle, like a quarter of a circle movement with my mouse type of thingy. And this will actually be the most effective movement technique. So this is usually best done if you have some sort of height before the wall jump. And this is sort of a way to, let's say, go around this corner over there. So what you can do also that doesn't actually involve wall jumping is you get on the wall and then you only hold A, right? So what I'm doing is I jumped on the wall and I'm holding only A, and you kind of like surf the wall. It's kind of similar to surfing as Counter-Strike, and you can kind of do this that type of thing, right? You can just get on the wall and just hold A, and you're gonna keep going A. And then what I did there, out of habit actually, out of habit, I actually jumped on the end, and that's something I want to talk to you as well. Is you can actually jump in the end and then tap strafe, and then you'll actually go around the corner. So starting from here, I did a wall slide into a tap strafe jump in the end, and that made me go around the corner. And so you can obviously do this going up as well. It's just way harder because you have no actual velocity. Tap strafe and wall jumps are benefiting off your initial velocity. So when you actually jump, or like when you actually are trying to climb up the wall, your velocity is very low. So that's why it's very hard to do the tap shape around the corner. But what is still possible is you try to climb the wall and then you jump and then it still bounces you backwards. So that is still possible. It's just not really useful. But again, as I said, stick on the wall, hold A, and then jump. And you can actually make it almost around the entire tower right here. Very useful. So there is one more way to actually do this wall jump over the fence, as I showed you before. I was showing you how to do it under an angle, right? With a strafe left side and then strafe right side with a tap strafe. There's also a way where you can do it kind of instantly. It's much less effective, and sometimes you completely screw it up. So you almost always have to actually manually, with zero velocity, strafe left and right. But it's still possible, and it involves basically the same technique. You are just not under an angle, but as you can see, it's much harder, right? I almost can't jump on this pillar here. So what you can do, the basic idea of this technique is that, as I said, wall jumps and tap shift benefit of initial velocity, and so you need to have some initial velocity and to turn it later into opposite velocity. So if you're going forward and you want to go backwards, you first have to stop and then go backwards, right? But if you want to go backwards with the tap strafe, the tap strafe is using the velocity of you going backwards, and then you quickly turn, and the same velocity is saved into going backwards. So it's much different between sprinting forward and back, because the velocity goes from 250 to 0, and then 250 again, right? Here it stays on 250, probably even gains a little. So the same idea is pretty much used here. All you gotta do is do a normal wall jump, and then slightly look to the right side. On the wall jump, look right side with a strafe, and then tap strafe back to the left. So again, you know, the idea is you have the initial velocity. The initial velocity we're using is the velocity of us jumping away of the wall. Alright, this velocity is the one we're using. And so then we're transforming the velocity, we're amplifying it by strafing, right? I'm not sure if you guys ever saw when you jump off the drop ship and you like kind of strafe in the air like this. Or let me give you another example. I'm gonna try and go over there, yeah? And I'm not touching my W. All I gotta do is strafe like this. I'm just holding A and D and sort of going sideways, right? And I'm almost going in a straight line. But this, when you do this in the air, this strafing will give you more velocity than regular W or S holding. So, again, wall jump, strafe right, tap, strafe, strafe left. Right? Kinda easy. I suck at explaining. Let me show you. There we go. And so this is another way of doing the over the fence jump. If you don't have space to work with, this is much more consistent because it's more natural. It's more natural to do it like this. And it requires less practice than this, but this is good as well. It's just this one kind of sucks because you can't actually do it 100% over the time, and sometimes because the basic idea of jumping over the fence is for you to not have the climbing animation, right? And sometimes if you don't do it under an angle and you don't do it perfect enough, I did it perfect this time, right? But you can do it not perfect enough. I did it perfect again. I'm just suffering from success. Yeah, here. You saw the stagger I had here? This climbing animation, the edge of the climbing animation. So the entire point of this move is to eliminate that climbing animation, and then you're still getting it if you don't do it perfect enough without an angle. So that's why doing it at an angle will always win, because it's just easier and will yield you better results, but it's also possible from this way. And that's it from me for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, please hit like, comment, subscribe. If you guys would like to know how to tap strafe or other movement techniques that I explained in this video, make sure you check out my other YouTube videos on the techniques that I explained, such as tap strafe. And I'll see you guys next time.